Hello everyone, this is Bartosz Beda, the greatest artist of all times, the most passionate and dedicated painter on the planet Earth. I am recording from my studio in Dallas, Texas. It's right now 9 p.m. and I'm about to start working on some other paintings and catching up with some admin things. But, when I graduated from my private secondary art school in Poland, that's equivalent to high school in the United States. This school was specifically designed for teaching traditional drawing and painting, and as well as other forms of art projects or art like composition and graphic design, sculpture, anything that goes in the structure of fine art and art itself. And it was a great time. I remember I loved this school, and from day one I was very dedicated and very passionate about what I wanted to learn there and what I've learned actually. And I remember when I started this school, it was very small group of students in my class. I had about 15 students, which was a great number, and a few of them were extremely talented. I remember I always look at them and I always wanted to know what they did differently and what I can learn from it. There was one time an assignment to do self-portrait. It was in the first year of the school, and two of the students did extremely well. I was super surprised to see how good their drawings came out and how realistic and how well they executed that homework, and I really could tell that I'm looking at their faces in the drawing, not somebody else. The sense of anatomy and sense of shadows and all the kind of 3D elements that you have in the face, eyes properly drawn, nose properly addressed. Everything was perfect. And when I brought my self-portrait, it was far from perfection. I remember I did a couple, 3 or 4. I brought them all, and none of them were great. And that was for me a learning lesson that even with a little talent, you also have to know how to address drawing, or how to address the problem in art or painting that you do. And that's not only equivalent to traditional drawing and painting. It's actually goes with every type of art, contemporary art or fine art. I remember that this boy, he was extremely talented, but also he put into hours as well. He didn't just draw it. He spent certain hours to make things done, and that's something that maybe was different between me and him when I was making my own self-portrait as a homework. He spent on one drawing a lot of time. He was focused and dedicated and wanted to do one drawing perfectly from the beginning to the end. And that maybe was not my goal, partially also because I didn't understand the anatomy of the face well, and I was just guessing and try to do or draw the best to my ability. You have to put into hours, not only in hours of in terms of painting or working, but also remembering that you have to put also intellect in that work. Not only skill, not only talent, but also you have to be conscious about what you do. So your hand listens to you and follow what your brain tells to your hand. And that connection, that transmission of right thoughts and connecting that with talent and skills. So that was one of the learning lessons to me, that I need to just be patient about drawing and painting, and not only trying to do things best to my ability, but also think about what I do, how I draw and how I paint, and ask. Also asking is the big aspect of that as well. Secondly, I remember once I realized that this guy has more talent than me, and things in drawing and painting come more easily to him. I realized that I have to put in 2 hours, like really hours. So each day after school, I start practicing. Even if I didn't have any homework, I really came home and I studied. I asked my brother to sit, or my mom, and I draw sketches of them, and I try to improve the faces, color, learn about it. I was looking into books. One of the things that the teacher told me that I should look into books, like art books, and I don't need to memorize the paintings, but just look at them and see how the other artists perform those artworks. And so I did, and that eventually paid off to the point that outworked him. Maybe he had more talent, maybe he had more skills, but he quickly started giving up that passion and dedication to what he was doing. And because I follow up and stick to my performance, I end up winning. And I don't mean that winning in a good or bad sense. It's just I start understanding and seeing things that he maybe didn't see or didn't understand, even if I had less talent and less skills than he had. And it was from the beginning my goal to be one of the best, and I was at that school. I remember when I graduated from my high school, I won several national competitions in Poland for fine art students, high school fine art students, and it was impressive for my teachers, for my parents, for myself. I felt like nothing can stop me, but it's far from reality. We all know that. We have that bumps up and then rapid fall down, and I think that's also what happened to me after my high school. I had also another success that was leading to the production of Ichthys by Marek Skrobecki and Peter and the Wolf by Susie Templeton, that won an Oscar Prize in 2008, I believe. So those are things that really made me think that I can do and achieve whatever I want in life. And it's true. When we start, we are equal we are equal with everybody else that is around us, who surrounds us, and the environment we are in also is equal to us, equal to the problems we can solve. When we stop achieving what we want, or when we are not progressing enough to our expectations, then the problem maybe lays in our attitude or our way of looking at things. For instance, I watched the other day Grant Cardone. He was saying something very nice in a line that you can have a talent that no one else has. You can work really hard and be passionate and dedicated to what you love to do. But if you sell a wrong product, then nobody will buy it. Meaning that making art and being good at art is one thing, but being able to paint or produce something out from your studio that will shock people or grab their attention is another thing. And that's something I thought about in terms of my work as well. It's easy to lose the attention of the people. People tend to forget quickly. If they don't hear you if they don't hear about you more than 6 months, they just forget. They move on. They find new people, new friends. And that's so true. So if you want to be remembered, you constantly have to innovate in your work, remind people about yourself, and treat your art as your asset. That's how I think about it. But going back to what Grant Cardone said, that you can have a lot of talent, best skills, being most dedicated and really be a hard worker, but at the end, if you sell wrong product, or if you sell your product to wrong people, then you won't achieve the level of success you're looking for. And I think that that's so true. So first comes that realization: am I doing the right product? We artists tend to talk about art as something glorious, almost like create a religion around it. But the bottom line is that every painting, every piece of art is just a product, is an item that you have to sell and someone has to buy. And even if your goal is not to sell art, you still need to do something to grab attention of people. Making things is not enough, and that comes to what you will do or what I will do in the studio and how to perform those things. And it's very interesting way of thinking about it. That's at least how I would put that. So having that understanding to what audience you're selling the work, and by meaning audience, I'm not maybe thinking about random people or very specific group of people, because you have to get to that specific group of people, and that can be achieved by various types of noise you can make around it, like through social media or through winning competition, grabbing right opportunities, surrounding yourself with right rich people who can spoil you by just buying and investing in you and your art. And And I think that every artist is looking for that, and I think that I'm looking for it as well, you know. I want to achieve the level of success that have Damien Hirst of Jeff Koons, and I'm looking into that, you know. Some things come with luck. We all need their luck. Some things have to be achieved by hard work and networking. So I would leave the conversation as it is. Maybe I will continue to talk about it later on, but for now this is it, and I hope you enjoy it. Just leave the comment below to let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the next video.